let's talk about GLP-1 pricing, but in a research-backed way, which is my favorite way. This article just came out from UChicago Medicine. It's outlining 2 research studies that just happened going into the cost effectiveness of GLP-1s, what they should cost based on their long-term health benefits, the outcomes, the reduction in comorbidities. We get into it. There's some really cool math in here. Right off the bat, their current prices far exceed the accepted thresholds for cost effectiveness, posing difficult choices for policymakers, insurers, and patients. So we know these have huge benefits. They help with so many different things, and they cost a ton of money. In here, they cite that it's $700 to $800 a month to have a GLP-1, but we know that's an average. It can be way more than that or a little less, depending on what dose you are and what you need. So this is an economist calculation here that they do for quality adjusted life years. But what they came up with from this is, according to the study, Tirzepatide would need a 30% price reduction. Semaglutide would need an 80% cost reduction to be in that spectrum of like what it costs versus what it benefits. And so this is something I didn't know, but a fun fact: private insurers in the United States often take their cues from Medicare and Medicaid. So we asked the question, how much will this cost Medicare? And they go in to talk about the drug cost would be nearly $66 billion, with about $18 billion saved through reduced hospitalizations and chronic disease. That's insane. So this would generate $48 billion in new Medicare spending over the next 10 years. Insurers and policymakers aren't just asking, is this a good treatment? They're definitely not asking that. They're asking, what will this do to our budget? For now, the budget impact is huge. So this might be the driver behind things more likely than is it good or is it bad? It's what does it cost? Semaglutide was already among the first 15 drugs selected for Medicare price negotiations under the Inflation Reduction Act, which will hopefully take effect into 2027 and help people get semaglutide that could benefit from it. And they close the article up by talking about there are so many benefits from this. Things are being discovered and found out in research in real time all the time. And they didn't even include some of the more recent things that have been found to benefit, like sleep apnea, migraines. There's all sorts of things that are coming out recently. They weren't in this projection, which could change the net cost of things because of the reduction in chronic illness and hospitalizations. So the more we find out, the more we might know, and the more that budget might make sense. What do you think? If you want to go look at the studies yourself, these are the 2 citations for the research that was done. Go read them. They're pretty good.